A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry of the Circus. For Jerry of the Circus.
Whitey!
Hello! Oh, it's you, Jerry. Hi there! I wondered where you disappeared to. Thought you were coming back to help me with the horses.
I was, Whitey, but Rags is gone.
Rags?
Yeah, I locked him up in our wagon, but during the fire somehow he must have got out. When I got back, the door was open, and he must have got frightened by the fire or something. I don't know. He never runs away.
Rags is your dog, huh?
Yeah, and he's all I got, Whitey. I just can't go away without him.
Nonsense, son. The circus will be out of here in a couple hours. You're not going to stay behind because of some little mud dog.
You don't understand. He's all the family I got, except an uncle I can't even find. Gee, Whitey, we've been hungry together. You don't understand.
Oh, I guess I kind of get the idea, kid. You sure he's not in the circus lot anyplace?
I don't see how he could be. I've been calling him for hours, seems like, and I've been trying to watch all the wagons and things as they headed for the station.
Oh, you poor kid. Listen, I got to keep moving, but jump on and I'll take you on into town. Now, he may have followed some of the audience during the fire. Maybe he's gone back to where you used to live.
Gee, I never thought of that. Golly, I'm dumb.
No, you're not. You're just plumb tired out. You've had enough excitement in the past 12 hours to last most boys a month of Sundays. Hop on. I got to get moving. Hut, boy.
Gee, but it's good to sit down for a while.
I thought you were kind of done up. Had anything to eat?
Not since dinner.
That was 6, and now it's after 2. Reach under the seat there. You'll find a bag of apples.
Oh, thanks. Just I am kind of hungry. Boy. Here, Rags. I want to be sure I don't pass him on the way in.
Oh, you'll probably find them back where you used to live. Dogs usually go back home.
You're right. Of course, we haven't had much of a home. He probably doesn't know yet our home's in the wagon I locked him up in. Why, I just gotta find him. We just gotta stay with this circus. Rags! Wait, where are you going, Whitey?
Oh, that's right. This is a shortcut to the station. I forgot. We missed part of the town this way. You want to get off here?
Yeah, we were staying in a boarding house just a little ways from here.
Hi there. Easy, boy. Hi. Now, listen, Jerry. When you get down to that station, sure, by 2:45. That's when the last train pulls out.
If I find Rags, I will.
Jerry, it's great to feel that way about a dog. I'm proud of you. But your life belongs to the circus. The way you helped out at that fire tonight.
Oh, that was nothing.
And was everything. And we need boys and men like you. Now, get that dog if you can. But remember, the circus has to go on, and you don't want to throw away your whole life just for...
Thanks, Whitey, but I can't give up Rags. But if I don't find him in time, you can just bet I'll get back to the circus somehow.
Got any money?
No, but...
Well, then, how you going to eat?
Well, I can work.
Oh, you're too young. They'll pick you up and put you in an orphanage or something. Listen, son, I could give you some money, but I'm not going to. You get to that station, dog or no dog, see? Bye, kid. Good luck. Up there. See you later, Jerry.
So long. See you later. I hope. Rags! Rags! Where are you, Rags? Where are you? Rags! Rags! It's getting cold. Rags!
Hey, what are you yelling for? This is a decent neighborhood. Folks want to sleep.
Sorry, mister. I lost my dog.
Well, wait until the morning.
Gee. Rags! Rags! Rags!
Well, what's up, kid?
Oh, hello, mister.
You live around here?
No,
Well, what you doing in this neighborhood?
looking for my dog.
Yeah? At 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, sir.
Where do you live?
Well,
Quit stalling now.
I'm not. I live with the circus.
Yeah? It's leaving town.
I know. That's why I got to get my dog before they...
Sorry, son, but I gotta run you in. What you got in your pockets? Nothing. Good. All right, get moving.
But I haven't done anything.
Maybe not. But there's been some petty thieving on this beat the last few nights, and we got orders to run in anyone at this time of night who can't explain what they're doing. Come on, get going.
But I can't explain. Gee, mister, please don't take me in. I just got to get that dog. The train's leaving in about an hour, and...
All right. You can explain it to the desk sergeant. You got plenty of time to make that train.
But I got to get my dog.
Here we are, kid. Here's the radio car. Won't take a minute to check your story. All right, get in. There we are. Now, no tricks, kid.
Honest, mister, I've been trying to find my dog all evening. He got away from the wagon and must have got frightened while they were moving the circus.
I thought you said you belonged to the circus.
We do.
Then why'd he be scared? Ain't he used to moving?
Well, you see, we just joined just today.
Oh, so you live around here, eh?
No, we just been here a few weeks.
Well, where'd you stay?
We
Yeah,
stayed...
funnier and funnier. You'll have to tell a better story to the desk sergeant. Well, here we are. Out you get. All right. Come on in here now. Hello, Sarge.
Oh, Doc. Well, where'd you get the boy?
I picked him up in the woodlawn section.
Yeah? Pretty young. What's your name, son?
Jerry Dugan.
Jerry Dugan, huh? Dugan. That's funny. That name's familiar. Hey, wait a minute. That's the name of the boy that O'Brien woman sent in the complaint about. The kid that skipped owing rent. Had a dog, I think. Now, let me look through these files.
Oh, yeah? Well, it ties in, then. This kid claimed he was looking for his dog. What kind of dog was it?
White, and not so big, and kind of curly.
Here it is. Yep, that's what I thought. Jerry Dugan, a minor, wanted. 2 weeks' rent, and, let me see. Yeah, you got freckles all right. Brown hair, blue eyes, about 11, and a white dog.
There was no dog with him.
That's what I told you. I was looking for him.
Well, I'm afraid that clinches it, son. Guess we'll have to lock you up for the night.
Oh, no, not tonight. Oh, gee, you can't do that.
What do you mean, can't?
Oh, I mean... But, gee, the circus is leaving town in about an hour, and I...
Still sticking to that circus yarn, eh?
But, honest, it's true. Gee, mister, can't you believe me?
There'll be plenty of time to check on that tomorrow. You see in this report, it says you're an orphan.
Yeah, that's true. Dad just died only last week.
Well, I'm sorry, son, but you see this lady, what's her name?
Mrs. O'Brien.
Yeah, Mrs. O'Brien. She says she's trying to arrange to have the boy put in an orphanage.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
I'm afraid I wouldn't have anything to do with that.
But an orphanage...
Well, they'd take good care of you. Good food and...
Oh, no.
Well, we'll see about all that in the morning, buddy.
No, you can't do that to me.
Now, just take it easy. You get a good night's sleep, and then you'll feel different.
No, I won't. Anyhow, how can I sleep with Rags gone and the circus gone, and it'll be just too late?
sorry, but with all the woodlawn trouble in the past few nights, and you being at large, according to the claim of this O'Brien woman, I can't let you go without checking pretty thoroughly. Tom, put him in 113. Night, kid.
No, please. My dog, you can't put me in jail. You can't. I don't want to. Please let me alone. I don't want to go to
Jason, have they found Jerry?
No, Patsy, but I've been talking to Whitey. Seems he picked the kid up and drove him toward town. He was looking for Rags, but Whitey thinks he'll be here by 2:45. He told him 15 minutes earlier than the train pulls out, so he'd be sure to make it.
But it's almost 3 now, and Jerry's not here. You don't think he could have gotten into any trouble, do you?
No, now don't you worry your pretty head about Jerry. He'll get here, Patsy.
Bumps told me that you'd found Rags.
Yeah, he was having a wonderful time sniffing around the ashes. I was afraid he'd get run over with all those wagons and things, so I locked him up in my place. I tried to feed him, but he acted funny. I guess he's not feeling so well.
Poor little mutt. All that excitement of doing his act and everything.
What do you mean, doing his act?
Well, didn't you hear?
No.
Well, Rags followed Bumps into the ring last night and went through a routine that had the audience laughing so they were practically in the aisle.
You don't mean it.
Yes, I do. I heard Mr. Randall say that they were going to put the dog in the act. Bumps was pleased pink. I never saw anyone so surprised as Bumps when he found that dog following him. He was crazier than usual trying to get that pup out of the ring. Gee, what a trooper that clown is. Best in the business. I laughed so I cried and had to do my makeup all over again before going on with my own act.
He's a cute dog, all right.
I'll say.
Funny thing, he wouldn't eat. I got him a nice bone from the cook's tent.
Jason, it's 20 minutes of 3. Jerry's not here yet. He won't come without that dog.
Sure he will.
No, he won't, Jason. I know. He worships that dog. He'd give up the circus and everything for it. And you've got the dog and he doesn't even know it. You've just got to find him, Jason.
Well, I've no idea where to look. Say, just a minute. Hey, taxi.
Taxi, mister?
Yeah, just a minute. Listen, Patsy, I'll cruise around town in that taxi for a few minutes. I might just happen to see him.
But, Jason...
Don't worry, I'll catch the train all right. You stay here and keep a lookout for Jerry. He might get back before I do.
Good luck. And, Jason, you might try the police station.
Quick, driver, step on it. Right through town.
blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, the Ray Bradbury story entitled, And the Moon Be Still as Bright.
The first 3 expeditions for Mars left Earth in a mushroom of flame, arced through the atmosphere, and finally dwindled to tiny specks in the big eye of the Mount Palomar telescope, and then were lost to sight forever. The prearranged landing signals flashed back to Earth, and then the radios went dead. One after the other, ships had disappeared and were never heard from again. But still the rockets came. The 4th expedition emerged from the silent gulfs of space, angled down toward the floating red disk of Mars, down into an orbit as the order came to land. The last blast of the bow jets broke red against the blue desert sands, and the ship slid to a halt at the edge of a vast city that reflected the icy glare of the moonlight. For a while, all was still.
All right, park you. Open the airlock.
Aye, sir. Fresh air. Hey, it's cold out here. Who cares? We got here. I thought I'd never hit solid ground again. Hey, how about a fire, Captain Wiley? It's freezing.
Later. We have work to do.
Oh, smell that air. Why, you could get drunk on it. Say, there's an idea. Why don't we break out a bottle and celebrate?
Biggs, there will be no drinking done till we're secured.
But we're landed, Captain.
3 other expeditions landed and disappeared within 24 hours. Now, we're not relaxing security till we find out what happened to them.
What do you mean, maybe Martians?
Sender, you're an archaeologist. How old would you say they are?
I can't tell till I study them more closely. It's a kind of engineering we couldn't duplicate on Earth.
Well, I'm not interested in the architecture now. I want to make sure there's nothing there that might be dangerous. Mr. Hathaway.
Yes, sir?
I want you and Spender to take a reconnaissance party into the city and find out what's there. We set up camp here. No man is to go more than 50 feet from this rocket. And there'll be no celebration till Hathaway and his party report back.
In the sea bottoms, the wind stirred along faint vapors, and from the mountains, great stone visages looked upon the silvery rocket and the small fire. The sky was black overhead, as the 2 racing moons threw knife-edged double shadows on the desert.
All right, come and get it. Ciao. Hey, what do you got there, Jackie?
Soda smothered in cold chicken fat.
Good. I thought it was something I couldn't eat. Hey, Captain. Mr. Hathaway's back.
Oh, Captain Wilder.
Oh, yes, over here, Mr. Hathaway. Well?
Most of the city's dead. Spender says it's been dead a good many thousand years, but we found one part about a mile over.
What about it?
People were living in it last week, sir.
People?
Martians.
Where are they now?
Dead. We found bodies, thousands of bodies. They hadn't been dead more than 10 days.
What did they die of?
You won't believe it.
What killed them?
Chickenpox.
Chickenpox?
Yes.
Where could they get chickenpox?
From Earth.
Oh, then the other rockets did get through.
Yes. I don't know what the Martians did to them, but I sure know what they did to the Martians. They gave them chickenpox and wiped them out. They just didn't have any resistance to an Earth disease.
Think of it, Captain. A race builds itself for 1 million years, refines itself, does everything it can to give itself respect and beauty, and then it dies. Of what?
It's like saying the Greeks died of mumps or the proud Roman Empire collapsed because of athlete's foot. We didn't even give them a decent excuse for dying. We just gave them chicken pox.
Spender, get hold of yourself.
You didn't see those bodies, Captain.
Yes, I know. It must have been a shock. You need a rest, a little relaxation. The Martians are dead. There's nothing you can do about that now.
Hey, you hear that? The Martians are all dead. Come on, let's break out a bottle and whoop it out. How about a case, eh?
Oh, good Lord. They have to do that now? Isn't there time later to throw old beer cans into the canals?
Spender, you're an idealist. They're not. All they know now is that they're safe. A little shouting won't hurt. You think too much.
I was safe on Mars. The first Earthmen on Mars. We gotta celebrate.
Yahoo! 20 bottles were opened and drunk. The voices got louder. The earth laughs and shouts echoing across the empty Martian sands. Spender listened to the wind over his ears, cool and whispering. He felt the land getting cooler. The stars drew closer, very near. The air smelled clean and new. He looked at the cool ice of the white Martian buildings over there on the empty sea lands.
Oh, what a woman! Hey, what do we do with these empty bottles?
Save them, stupid. There's a 2-cent deposit.
Throw them away! Hey, wait. How about that building? 2 to 1 on a buck, I can heave one right through that window.
You're on.
Here goes. Hey, double it up on the next shot.
Put that bottle down, Biggs.
Who's there, Mr. Spender?
Stop smashing those windows.
What's the difference? The planet's ours now. I guess I can do anything with it I want.
Drop that bottle or I'll knock your teeth out.
Yeah? Just watch me.
I warned you, Big.
Hey, come on. What's going on here?
Spender! I hit him.
He's crazy, Captain. He just walked up and slugged me.
All right, Biggs. Spender, you come with me. Now, suppose you explain. What was the idea?
The noise, a drunken brawl.
Spender, the men are tired. This has been a long trip. And you have a different way of seeing things.
No, I'm seeing things all right. I'm seeing how we'll ruin Mars. We'll rip it up and rip the skin off the way we've already ruined Earth.
Is that why you hit Biggs?
Yes. I couldn't stand the idea of them watching us make fools of ourselves.
Them?
The Martians. They're dead. They're all dead. But they know we're here. Doesn't an old thing always know when a new thing comes? We've come a long way to smash their windows and spit in their wine.
Well, maybe you're right. But I'm still going to fine you $50 for that fight. Now, come on, Spender. Suck in your chin. We'll go back there and play happy.
Now they moved out into the moonlight across the desert. They made their way into the dreaming, dead city. The light of the racing twin moons glinted on the barrel of a pistol, the long blade of a machete, the round, gurgling shape of a raised bottle. The wind blew in from the dead sea bottom and brushed through the silvery wire filigree of the towers. Strange music drifted down to the double-shadowed streets, a thin, haunted music that played as it had played through the uncounted years of time. Nobody moved. The moons held and froze them. The wind beat slowly around them.
Hey, you people in the city!
Biggs!
I just want to make a little noise. What kind of a celebration is this, anyway?
Come on.
They built this city thousands of years ago. And now where are they? How did they die?
Who cares? They're dead. That's good enough for me.
Lord Byron.
What?
Lord Byron, a 19th century poet. He wrote a poem that fits this city. Might have been written by the last Martian poet. So we'll go no more a-roving so late into the night. Though the heart be still as loving, though the moon be still as bright. For the sword outwears its sheath, and the soul outwears its breast. And the heart must pause to breathe, and love itself must rest. Though the night was made for loving, and the day returns too soon, yet we'll go no more a-roving by the light of the moon.
Without a word, the Earthmen stood in the center of the city. It was a clear night. There was not a sound except the music of the wind. At their feet lay a tiled court, worked into the shapes of ancient animals and images. They stood there, silvered by the double moons beneath the crystal towers of Mars. And then Biggs was sick, and the sour stench of liquor filled the cool air. The men of Earth had come to Mars. And Spender turned and walked away into the city, alone in the moonlight, never once stopping to look back. It was a morning that might have been a Monday, or a Tuesday, or any day on Mars. Biggs was on the canal rim, his feet hung down in the cool water, soaking, while he took the sun in his face.
Hey, what are you doing back here, Biggs? Didn't you go out with the search party?
Yeah. I come back. I got a blister.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean? Look. Look, Cherokee, see that? Anyway, I had enough searching. 4 days hunting for that screwball Spender.
Didn't find him yet, huh?
Oh, good riddance. Oh, my feet. I'm going to soak them in the canal. If I was Wilder, I wouldn't worry about that nut Spender. Let him go. He's a cracked pot anyway.
Well, he's a little foggy upstairs, I guess. Hey, why don't you take your feet out of that canal, Biggs? I got to make coffee out of that water.
Coffee? You call that stuff coffee? I had a motorcycle once that dripped grease that tasted better than that.
Wait a minute, Biggs. Hey, look over there.
Where?
By that bush. There's someone there.
Hey.
It's him. Hey, Spender!
Spender?
He's coming over.
Why'd he stay lost, that crazy jerk?
Hi, Spender. Long time no see.
Hello, Cherokee. I've been exploring some ruins.
Oh, you and them ruins. You're like a dog in a boneyard. What's the matter? Why don't you just say something? Where you been?
Up in the hills. What would you say if I told you I found a Martian?
Oh, yeah?
Where?
Never mind. Let me ask you a question. How would you feel if you were a Martian and people came to your land and started to tear it up?
Well, I know how I'd feel. I've got Cherokee blood in me. My grandfather told me a lot of things about the way they kicked the Indians around in the Oklahoma Territory. If there's any Martian around, I'm all for him.
How about you, Biggs?
They're dead. They're all dead. It's a good thing, too.
Well, I found a Martian. Up in a dead town in the hills. I've been reading their books, and they're easy to understand. And I've learned their language. And then I found this Martian. And I brought him here, now.
I don't see no Martian.
I'm the last Martian.
What did you say?
Biggs, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, cut it out. What kind of a lousy joke is that? And now, don't put that gun away. You're kidding, huh? Spender, you're...
He's dead. You killed him.
You can come with me, Cherokee. You're an Indian. You know how the Martians would feel. You can be with me in this.
You killed him. You just killed him.
He deserved it.
You're crazy.
Maybe I am. But you can come with me.
Come with you for what? Go on, get out of here, you crazy murderer.
Of all of them, I thought you'd understand. I thought you'd remember what happened to your own people.
Get out of here, you crazy murdering...
Don't reach for the gun.
Spender.
Hathaway, break out the arms locker. Issue pistols, rifles, and grenades.
Yes, sir.
And you'd better get the Bible out of the navigation chest. We have to bury these two. Parkler, you start digging a grave,
How about Spender?
We'll have to go up in the hills and find him.
Just let me at him with my bare hands, a crazy murdering louse.
That's enough, Parkler. The man is sick. He must be...
Sick my eye.
That's enough. Now grab a shovel and start digging.
Spender saw the thin dust rising in the valley, and he knew the pursuit was beginning. The sun burned farther up the sky, and the blue sand drifted lazily across the sea bottom below. He sat beside a quiet pool 10,000 years old and held the silver book. Through the house played the strange wind music of ancient Mars, and he heard voices whisper in his mind.
I hear you. I've always heard you, even down there on Earth. No, I won't run. What's the use?
Live, Earthman. Live.
Live? What for? To see them tear down your temples and put up hot dog stands?
Run.
They've seen me now. They know I'm up here. There's Wilder now. I've got him right in my sights.
Kill, Earthman. Kill.
Funny, he hasn't ordered them to use grenades. They could lob one right up here and blow me to bits. Maybe the captain thinks I'm too nice to be blown to bits. He wants my death to be clean. Just one bullet hole in me, nothing messy. And why? Because he understands me. The only one in the crew who ever did. Well, at least I can do the same for him. Just one bullet in his head, a nice clean death. All I have to do is pull the trigger and then... It's no use. I can't do it to him.
Spender! Can you hear me, Spender?
I hear you, Captain. What do you want?
Talk! Truce!
All right. Come on up. Leave your gun down there and keep your hands up.
Oh. That's quite a climb. You mind if I sit down? How long do you think you can hold out?
Until you're all dead.
Oh, why didn't you kill all of us this morning when you had the chance? You could have.
I know. I got sick. After I started killing people, I realized they were just fools and I shouldn't be killing them, but it was too late. So I came up here where I could get angry again.
Why did you do it?
When I was a kid, my folks took me to visit Mexico City. Now, always remember the way my father acted, loud and big. And my mother didn't like the people because she thought they didn't wash enough. I can see my mother and my father coming to Mars and acting the same way. Anything that's strange is no good to us. We aren't fit to take over this planet.
But to kill 2 men.
How would you feel if a Martian spit on the White House floor?
You know, you haven't acted very civilized yourself.
I'll kill you all off, Wilder. That'll delay the next rocket 5 years, and then I'll kill them, too. And if I'm lucky, I'll live to be 60. And I'll meet every expedition that lands on Mars. Oh, I'll be very friendly. I'll explain our rocket blew up one day. And then I'll kill them off. I'll save Mars for half a century. And by then, maybe the Earth people will give up.
And yet you're outnumbered. We already have you surrounded. In an hour, you'll be dead.
I found an underground passage. It'll take me back in the hills, Wilder. I'll go back there. And then I'll pick you off one by one.
We'll see. Well, it's a nice town you've got here, Spender. It's beautiful. I'd like to live here.
You can. Join me. You're not like them. Why go back to them, Captain? I'll show you what a good life these people had.
No, there's too much Earth blood in me. I may even agree with you about all this, but that does not change what I must do.
You won't stay?
No. This is your last chance, Spender. Look, you're sick. Now come along with me quietly.
No. One last thing. If you win, do me a favor. Try to see that they don't tear this planet apart.
Right.
And if it helps, just think of me as a very crazy fellow who went berserk one summer day. Be easier on you that way.
Now I'll think that over. So long, Spender.
Bye, Captain. Good luck.
The men spread out again, walking and then running on the hot hillside places where there would be sudden cool grottos that smelled of moss, and sudden open blasting places that smelled of sun or stone. The men ran and ducked and ran and squatted in the shadows.
I'll blow his brains!
Captain Wilder hugged the rock warmed by the sun. He gasped, for the air was thin and not meant for running. Spender lay at the top of the hill, and a gap in the rocks showed the white of his shirt against the shadows. Wilder looked at the towers of the little, clean Martian village, like sharply carved chess pieces lying in the afternoon. He saw the rocks, and the interval between, where Spender's chest was revealed.
Go on, Spender. Get out. You've only got a few seconds to escape. Go on, get out of the caves. Come back later. You go now. I've got to win this. I've got to think that I'm right and pull this trigger. Go now. Get out.
I'll get him! A slug in the head, I'll blow his bloody brains!
No, Parkhill! Put down that gun. I'll do this myself.
Spender. Why didn't you get out? Why? Why? Why?
They buried him in that ancient valley town, where the music of the wind played on through the days and the nights. They laid him in an ancient silver sarcophagus with waxes and wines which were 10,000 years old, his hands folded on his chest. The last they saw of him was his peaceful face in the cold silver light of the racing twin moons. The captain found the poem in Spender's pocket, and he read it before he shut the marble door.
So we'll go no more a-roving so late into the night. Though the heart be still as loving, and the moon be still as bright. Though the night was made for loving, and the day returns too soon, yet we'll go no more a-roving by the light of the moon.
The next afternoon, Parkhill did some target practice in one of the dead cities, shooting out the crystal windows and blowing the tops off the fragile towers. Captain Wilder caught Parkhill and nearly knocked his teeth out.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you the Ray Bradbury story, And the Moon Be Still as Bright, adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were John Larkin, Clark Gordon, Dick Hamilton, Nelson Olmsted, Lawrence Kerr, and Stan Early. Your narrator was Norman Rose. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production. X-1.
Jerry Hall and his friends have now been more than 48 hours on the Magic Island. And in these weird and terrifying surroundings, it seems much longer than that. However, they have found Mrs. Gregory's long-lost daughter, Joan. And though they are all prisoners of the mad scientist G-47, and the Gregory yacht is tied fast to one of the piers on the island of Euclidia, there is a spirit of hope on board, as Joan and her mother talk in Mrs. Gregory's cabin, while Jerry and Captain Tex Bradford are busy in another.
You should be in bed, Joan, dear. It's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, and you must be tired after all this excitement.
No, Mother, I am not tired, even though Jerry said my eyes looked like 2 fried blankets.
Not exactly that. Jerry said your eyes looked like 2 fried holes in a blanket.
But that is even more impossible. It would be possible to fry a blanket, I think, if there were any reason for it. But to fry a hole, That is out of the question entirely.
You must learn to take all Jerry says with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt?
There now. I've done almost as badly as Jerry. You'll learn our strange way of speaking someday, my dear. We have a number of expressions that, while probably not correct English, make our meaning known and are in common usage.
I like everything you and your friends say and do, Mother. Captain Bradford is a fine man, and I like that foolish boy Jerry also. I would not like to see anything happen to him, but if he does not use more respect in speaking to G47, I dread to think what the result will be.
Jerry is young and hot-tempered, but he's really a very intelligent young man. And with Tex to steady him, I think Jerry is no more likely to get into trouble than the rest of us.
I am worried about that little bird Jerry sent off, the homing pigeon. Something will happen to it. Mother, it is not easy to send a message from this island.
You're too afraid of G47 and his group of scientists, Joan. After all, they're only human, and all humans make mistakes. I think the pigeon has a very good chance to get that message through to Johnson.
Even if the message does get through, what then?
Hi, Joan. Mrs. Gregory. Captain Bradford will be along in a minute.
I'm glad to see you in your own clothes again, Jerry. Yes, I think it was dangerous to have made that coat for you out of the opaque cloth. Someone might have seen you wearing it and thought you had the pigeon hidden under it.
The pigeon got away all right. That's the main thing.
But how can you be sure it got away safely, Jerry?
Well, the only place any of these scientists are is right on the island, inside that magnetic fog ring. Isn't that right?
That is probably so.
Then if the pigeon got through the fog ring all right, there would be no way for anyone on the island to detect it.
No. Are you sure there was nothing metallic on the pigeon?
Oh, no danger there. But I feel that Jerry must have been seen as he turned the pigeon loose. It doesn't seem right that he could walk boldly to the stern of the yacht, take a homing pigeon out of his coat, release it, stand there and watch it disappear through the fog without being observed by someone on the island.
It's too dark out there for anyone to see anything.
But how about the glasses with which they see through the yellow darkness? It may have been dark to you and light as day to those scientists on the island.
Jerry, is the yellow darkness being used tonight?
Nope, just plain old black dark out there. So dark you can't even see the sky.
Then G47 and his assistants can see no better than the rest of us. They have nothing with which to increase their clarity of vision through natural darkness. It is only regarding the convenient dissipation of such artificial obscurity as has been created for their express purposes that they have attained any marked degree of efficacy.
Swell. But what does it mean? Cut it up in little pieces so I can play too, will you?
Cut it up?
Now, Jerry, stop teasing Joan. You know perfectly well what she means.
Well, what if I do? She just thinks she's smart. Show off all those big words.
Is it that you do not understand the big words, Jerry?
Oh, I understand the big words, all right, but... Well, you're too stuck up.
Now, Jerry, Joan doesn't understand that, and I'm sure she didn't mean to be stuck up, as you put it.
Stuck up? I'm afraid I do not follow you, Jerry.
You follow me, all right, but you'll never catch up with me.
Jerry, please don't be rude.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Gregory. I didn't mean to be rude, but... Well, I think she's trying to kid me.
No, she isn't. Joan is confused by all our slang, and she's quite right, Jerry. We do speak badly.
Yeah, I guess we do. I'm sorry, Joan. I didn't mean to make fun of you.
You are a nice boy, Jerry, and I know that if you say anything not nice, it is just because you do not know the correct manner of saying it. And I will gladly teach you how things should be done and said.
Oh, boy. This is sure something good.
Well, this seems to be a happy party.
I'm glad you're here, Tex. These two are almost beyond me.
Captain Bradford.
Yes, Joan?
Did you see or hear anyone near the yacht?
Not a soul.
Then there may be a bare possibility.
A bare possibility of what?
Joan is worried, Tex, about the pigeon. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right, Mrs. Gregory.
Safe enough to talk now, with all this cloth all over the cabin. All over the yacht, in fact. We can talk in safety, and all's well.
I do not feel sure all is well. How long has the pigeon been gone?
It's just half an hour since I turned it loose.
It should be 15 or 20 miles from here by now.
Yes, there's a little wind from the south, right on his tail. He should be making 40 miles an hour.
But will the poor little bird get lost flying at night?
Oh, those little fellows are smart, all right. I got about all those books on homing pigeons read. Have you got any more, Mrs. Gregory?
We've got lots more books on pigeons back home in Los Angeles. You can read them when we get home, kid.
Captain Bradford, why is it you call Jerry the kid? I thought a kid was a young goat.
Now you're getting what I got, Tex.
You're right, Joan. I shouldn't use that expression. But if we're around you long enough, you'll have our English all straightened out for us.
And, Joan, there is one thing I must tell you. It's very rude for younger people to correct older ones.
Even if the older ones are wrong.
Give it up, Pat. We've got a lot to learn about each other, Joan, and it takes time. Now about the pigeon. Sure it got away, Jerry?
Oh, sure. It fluttered around a minute, acted kind of mixed up, then it got straightened out and took off through the fog due north. That is, if this pier runs north and south.
It does. This is Pier 5, and directly across the island is Pier 11. The two piers are exactly north and south. Will the pigeon fly to the boat your Johnson is on, or will he fly to Los Angeles?
Oh, he couldn't reach Los Angeles if he tried to. But he won't try.
I think that is wonderful. Do you train them to do that, or do they do it naturally?
They're very carefully trained, Joan. Anyone can train them who has a little patience and will take a few minutes a day with them. We have many pairs of them in Los Angeles, each pair trained to go to a different place or type of place.
You start them out just a little way at a time, don't you?
The pair we carry on this yacht, the one Jerry just released and the other still in the coat, were trained to go to the boat Johnson is now using. And they will go to that boat no matter where it is, though it seems easier for them if they make their long flights in the same general direction as their training flights.
Tell me about training them, will you please, Mother?
We started them when they were so young they really just flapped their wings and walked. It was hardly flying. The two boats were anchored side by side in the harbor, and we put a runway between them so the young birds wouldn't fall into the water and become frightened.
I read all about how to do that. You put their food and water at the other end of the board, inside a little coat, and taught them to go over after it. Isn't that it?
Yes, Jerry. And each day we increased the distance they had to go and kept raising their coat up the mast until they could fly into it easily and naturally.
That is wonderful, Mother. I think more wonderful than any of the scientific discoveries on this island.
The more we learn about science, any of the sciences, the more we learn how wonderful nature is. Did you ever stop to think that no matter how much we may learn about the universe and the things that make it up, we are only learning the things nature has known all along?
Gee, I never thought of it that way. But you're right. Here these little homing pigeons take off from a strange place in the dark and fly straight for a boat hundreds of miles away.
How long will we have to wait?
That'll depend on how far Johnson is from us when the pigeon meets his boat, and also on whether we will be allowed to receive a radio message when Johnson sends us one.
Well, suppose Johnson tries to send one of his pigeons to us. I mean, before ours gets to him.
That might be dangerous, Tex.
I think not. The chances are G47 will discover this bird is missing at daylight, if he hasn't discovered it already. And by that time, the damage is done anyhow.
But Johnson would not know about the magnetic fog and all these things on Euclidia. Might he not use some metal to fasten the message to the pigeon?
He might, though we got some word of the magnetic fog to him in our first radio message. And Johnson is clever.
That fog wouldn't hurt the pigeon, would it?
No, but the metal on it would set off the alarm, and the pigeon would be held to the fog until rescued.
The danger of that is, as soon as the magnetism was released, the pigeon would be frightened and confused and either fall into the water or get lost trying to get back to Johnson.
Yes, and if Johnson's boat is too far away, these young birds might not make the return trip.
Is there nothing we can do about it?
Nothing, dear. For if we acted as if we were too interested in that magnetic fog ring, it would only attract suspicion to us. The longer that pigeon is gone before G47 knows, the better our chances are.
Right. And now there's only one sensible thing to do. Took it right out of my mouth. It's 2 bells. Time we all tried to sleep. Nothing more we can do tonight, and worry won't help the little pigeon a bit. Come on, Jerry.
Good night, Mrs. Gregory. Good night, Joan.
Good night, Jerry.
Skipper will be on deck till daylight. And Jerry and I'll take a turn now and then. Get some rest, Pat. Good night, Joan.
Good night,
Captain.
And now to bed, my dear. First time we've really been able to go to bed in 2 days and nights.
It all seems too wonderful to be true, Mother dear.
Come here, Joan. Kneel down by your mother and we'll say our prayers together. Just as I've always dreamed we might say them someday.
I do not understand, Mother. What is it to say a prayer?
Oh, my dear little girl. With all your knowledge. I might have known it, of course. What would these mad Euclideans know of prayer?
Is it something I should know, Mother?
It's something no human being has ever lived happily without. I'll teach you the little prayer I said when I was a girl. A prayer I've waited 14 years to teach you. And you can say it after me, dear. 15 years old and no one ever thought to teach you a little prayer.
Why do you cry, Mother?
What? Because I'm happy to know, dear, that with all your learning, there's at least one thing left for your mother to teach you. Now, repeat after me. Now I lay me down to sleep.
Now I lay me down to sleep.
I pray the Lord my soul to keep.
I pray the Lord my soul to keep.
If I should die before I wake.
If I should die before I wake.
I pray the Lord my soul to take.
I pray the Lord my soul to take.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, the abductors of Professor Sturgeon have scored another victory as the plane they have sabotaged dropped like a flaming torch into the Gulf of Mexico.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, you know what it is that keeps so many fellows and girls all hepped up about dashing into breakfast on the double quick? A sunny golden toasted bowl of Kellogg's Pep. Yes, sir, when Pep leads off the menu, sometimes it's mighty hard to wait for breakfast. You keep thinking about how tender and how crunchy those whole wheat flakes are, and well, right away you want to start spooning them up. Sure, you keep looking forward to your first taste of that sparkling sunshine flavor, and you can hardly wait to begin. And when you think of all the terrific good eating in that bowl of Kellogg's Pep, you're mighty sure that you're going to keep at it until you've polished off every last crisp flake, which is always a smart idea because Pep is good for you. Gives you solid whole wheat nourishment plus. But it's particularly important nowadays because, you see, we're sending the cereal grains to fellows and girls overseas. Think of that, gang, when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Don't waste it. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. And say, kind of keep an eye on your younger brothers and sisters, too. Remember how important it is to eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
And now, the adventures of Superman. As you remember, Professor Alonzo Sturgeon, famous atom-smashing scientist, was abducted by agents of the country of Bolomar, who intend to force him to reveal the secrets of the atom bomb. Posing as ichthyologists, the agents chartered an American plane and loaded a large crate aboard which they said contained a rare specimen of fish, but which actually contained the unconscious Professor Sturgeon. In Bolomar, the plane was secretly tampered with, and when the American pilots reached the Gulf of Mexico on their return trip, their plane suddenly caught fire. They had time only to radio an SOS when they crashed into the dark waters of the Gulf. As we continue now, Superman, who had followed the trail to Brownsville, Texas, has returned to the airport there in his guise of Clark Kent. Entering the administration building, he proceeds to the operations room, where the radio operator is trying desperately to contact the lost plane.
Any luck yet, Sparks?
Not yet. Can't seem to raise him again.
When did you pick up the SOS?
A few minutes ago. It came in on the loudspeaker, but very weak.
Uh-huh.
When I plugged in on the earphones, the pilot talked very fast. Said he was at 3,000 with all four engines on fire. He was about to dive.
Did he give you his position?
Yeah, he gave it to me at once, but before I could check it, his radio went dead entirely.
Do you remember where he said they were?
Well, I wrote it down here on this slip.
Oh, good.
I'll read it to you.
Give me the slip, Eddie. I'll pinpoint it on the chart. You keep trying to raise him.
Okay.
Come over to the chart, Mr. Kent.
Right.
Calling 43-743. Brownsville calling 43-743.
Here's the chart. Well, let's see. 96.5, 15.6.
That'd be right about here.
Right. Christopher, that's practically 400 miles due east. Looks bad for that crew.
400 miles due east, you say?
Near as I can plot it, yeah. Eddie got it right.
Well, we can't waste time. Got to get to them right away.
We a couple of hours before we can get a plane out there. I'm afraid they haven't a chance, poor guys.
Well, maybe they have got a chance.
Only a miracle could... Oh, where are you going, Mr. Kent?
For a quick dip in the Gulf. See you later.
Hurrying from the administration building, Kent steps behind a hangar and strips off his business suit to stand revealed in the blue costume and red cape of Superman. Then, leaping high from the airport, he rockets away to the east and over the dark waters of the moonlit Gulf of Mexico. 100 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles, he flashes onward like a hurtling bullet. Then, suddenly, he checks his flight, hovers high in midair.
Position radio to be right about here, I'd say. But I don't see any plane on the water. Better range around a bit. No, don't see them yet. Well, they couldn't have gone much farther than this. I'm afraid I'm too late. Wait a minute. Ahead to the right. A sinking plane and a man lying on top of it. Now! One of the pilots unconscious. Uh-oh, another chap in the cockpit. Just wrenched this side of the office open. Like this. And get him out. There. Oh, it's the other pilot. Poor fellow's in bad shape. I've got to get these fellows to a hospital in a hurry. They must tell me where they took Professor Sturgeon. Up! Up! And away!
Zooming up from the Gulf waters with the limp, battered bodies of the unconscious pilots in his arms, Superman streaks northward, sights the gleaming lights of New Orleans on the horizon, and in a flash is above the city. Spotting a hospital, he drops down, delivers his patients to an astonished doctor and nurse, and disappears. A short time later, once more in his guise of Clark Kent, he is questioning the hospital doctor.
Those two pilots, Doctor, will they live?
I'm quite sure one of them will. Name's Ramsey. But it's touch and go with the other one, Mr. Kent.
Oh, the poor chap. Well, tell me, this Ramsey, when do you think I might be able to speak to him?
Well, that's a hard question to answer. He was very badly burned and suffered severe lacerations.
Oh?
All depends on how he responds to the transfusion.
I see. Look, Doctor, I wouldn't be so insistent, you understand, if it weren't so important. But you read about the abduction of Professor Sturgeon, didn't you?
Oh, yes, terrible thing. Papers seem to think some power-mad gang or foreign agents abducted him to get the secret of the atom bomb.
I'm sure they did. And these two pilots know where he is.
What's that?
They took off from New Orleans last night with the professor. Now, almost 24 hours later, they crashed within 400 miles of here. That means they took the professor somewhere and were on their way back to New Orleans when they cracked up.
Good heavens.
That's why I've got to talk to them as soon as possible, Doctor.
Yes, I understand. Well, ordinarily, I wouldn't want Ramsey to be questioned, but considering the circumstances... Look, you wait right here in this anteroom. The moment I think Ramsey might be questioned, I'll send a nurse for you.
That's fine, Doctor. I won't stir from this room.
While Clark Kent waits anxiously for an opportunity to talk with the men who hold the secret of Professor Sturgeon's whereabouts, Lois Lane and Horatio Horn, the little amateur detective, have just arrived in New Orleans by plane from Metropolis. Now, at the airport, only a few miles from the hospital where Kent waits, Lois has just returned from an interview with the dispatcher. As we join them, she is talking to Horn on the apron near the exit gate.
I knew it, Mr. Horn.
You knew what, Miss Lane?
Clark Kent beat me to it again.
Really?
Yes, the dispatcher says that he's already been here asking the same questions that I did.
But how could that be? We caught the first regularly scheduled flight out of Metropolis today.
Well...
And you said that you had seen Mr. Kent just before that.
He must have wangled a ride on a special fast plane and left me cooling my heels at the airport. Oh, just wait till I see him. I'll tell him a thing or two.
Never mind that now, Miss Lane. What did you find out from the dispatcher?
Oh, now listen. A charter plane took off from here about 1 o'clock this morning. Cleared for Brownsville, Texas, but never got there.
Good gracious. You mean it crashed somewhere?
Not last night, no, but about a half an hour ago, that same plane radioed an SOS from a position about 400 miles out in the Gulf. The pilot said that it was on fire and about to crash.
Great grasshoppers. 400 miles out in the Gulf, and at night. But that means Professor Sturgeon is dead.
It doesn't mean anything of the sort, Mr. Horn.
What?
Look, I thought you were a detective.
Well, I am. I could show you my badge and diploma, summa cum laude, from the famous correspondence.
Yes, skip it, will you? Now listen and think. The plane took off almost 24 hours ago, but it crashed only 400 miles away. Now, obviously, it traveled a lot farther than 400 miles in 24 hours, don't you think?
Of course, but... Oh, you mean...
I mean that plane must have taken Professor Sturgeon someplace and was on its way back when it crashed. Now, what we've got to do is find out where it took him. Unfortunately, the poor pilots are probably lost. Mr. Horn, you're not listening. Mr. Horn!
Huh?
I said you're not listening. We've got a job to do, a big job, and you're not going to listen. What?
I say I think it is.
You think what is what?
Him.
Him? For heaven's sake, what are you talking
Come
about?
along, Miss Lane. Hurry, before he gets away.
Before who gets away?
I told you. Him.
Mr. Horn, have you gone out of your mind?
Oh, no, Miss Lane. Not Horatio F. Horn. I say that's Carlos, by Gulliver, or I'll eat my handcuffs.
Carlos?
Yes, the fellow who locked us in the warehouse last night and set it on fire. The one responsible for Professor Sturgeon's abduction.
Good heavens. Where is he? Where?
See that tall fellow just ahead of the woman with the baby?
Yes.
He's wearing a black Hamburg hat and carrying a briefcase.
Oh, yes, but
He got out of the Chicago plane that just landed.
Oh, I can't see his face. Are you sure it's Carlos?
Positive. I got a good look at him. He has a beard,
A
but...
beard? Carlos didn't have a beard.
Oh, this is the phony beard.
Now, how can you tell that?
My dear Miss Lane, I'm a good detective, and a good detective can spot a phony beard or mustache a mile away.
Oh, pooh.
Besides, remember the long red scar Carlos has across the bridge of his nose?
Yes.
I saw the scar just now. That made me sure. Look, he's turning his head.
It is Carlos. What'll we do, Mr. Horn? We can't let him get away.
Indeed, we can't. Especially since he knows where Professor Sturgeon is. We must trail him. Come, Miss Lane, hurry.
Their pulses racing with excitement. Lois Lane and little Horatio Horn hurry after the tall, swarthy Carlos and into serious trouble. We'll see what happens in a moment. So stand by for the tense climax of today's episode.
You know, this week's Pep Dish of the Week sure has made a terrific hit. It has some of that old circus excitement. Makes breakfast as gay and colorful as anything. How about trying it over the weekend? It's a cantaloupe pinwheel, you know. And here's how easy it is to make. You start off with your regular serving of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal. Then take your spoon and scoop the cantaloupe out in strips. Arrange them on top of your Pep, like the spokes of a wheel. Add milk and sugar, and that's a cantaloupe pinwheel. One of the dozens of swell ways to dress up your morning dish of Kellogg's Pep. Of course, just Pep with milk and sugar makes a slick treat any day of the week. Pep is crisp and crunchy. Pep is full of sparkling sunshine flavor that keeps your appetite interested until you've eaten up every single toasted flake in your bowl. And that's one way to keep from wasting cereal. Another way is to pour out your Pep carefully. All this is particularly important nowadays when we're sending the cereal grains to help give good nourishment to fellows and girls overseas. Remember that, gang, when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Spotting a man named Carlos, whom they know to be one of Professor Sturgeon's abductors, Lois Lane and Horatio Horn have hurried after him through the gate of the New Orleans airport. On the street, the tall Latin walks swiftly along a dark row of cars parked at the curb under spreading trees.
Wouldn't you just know that at a time like this we wouldn't see a single police officer?
Keep calm, Miss Lane. Keep calm. Remember that Horatio Horn is at your side.
What a comforting thought that is. Not.
Carlos seems in a hurry. I wonder where he's going.
I don't know, but we can't lose him. Wait, Mr. Horn.
Huh?
Look, that car's waiting for him.
Yes? There's a big husky chauffeur standing by it.
What are we going to do now? He'll get away.
We can't lose him, by Gulliver. We mustn't. He knows where Professor Sturgeon is. You, Carlos, wait.
No, Mr. Horn, come back here.
Stop, Carlos.
Look out, Mr. Horn. He's getting out of the car. Oh, well, I wouldn't do for a policeman.
Stay where you are, Carlos.
Oh, my good friend, Senor Horn and Senorita Lane. We meet again, huh?
You bet we do, by Gulliver. And this
Look out, Mr. Horn. He's got a gun.
See, the same gun I had last night. Wish I should have finished you. Step into my car, please.
Now, wait, Carlos.
Quick, into the car, both of you.
No.
Now, look here. You can't...
Into the car, I said, or I shoot. Quickly. Do as I say.
Taken aback by the surprising turn of events, Lois Lane and Horatio Horn look helplessly at Carlos's menacing gun. Then, powerless to resist, step into the car. Carlos follows them. The chauffeur slams the door shut, slides in behind the wheel, and the car speeds smoothly away into the night. Once again, Lois and the little amateur detective have fallen into the ruthless hands of the Bolomar foreign agents. What will happen to them this time? As Superman waits anxiously for a chance to talk with the injured flyers about Professor Sturgeon, who we know is already in Bolomar. Monday's episode is tense and thrilling, gang, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal. Say, gang, what makes a famous name famous? Well, Kellogg is famous as the greatest name in cereals. And one reason is Kellogg shredded wheat. Those are the plump, tender biscuits made to fit your breakfast bowl. 15 of them in every package. Each biscuit toasted just right and full up with natural nut sweet flavor. Mom knows Kellogg shredded wheat is good for you, too. This is whole wheat. So remember Kellogg, gang. Ask Mom for Kellogg shredded wheat. And be sure to be with us on Monday for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
There's a fortune in the cabin of an airplane crashed on an island somewhere in the Caribbean, and only you know where it is. By your side, sailing the treacherous channels, a smiling killer with a knife, from whom there is no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you E. Jack Newman's story, The Coward. You.
Buenos dias, señor.
Ryan around?
Your name, please?
Frank Dorian.
You've come for employment? The employment office is located...
I'm an old friend of his.
What is it you wish?
I wish for you to keep trying with the Inglese, baby. You're doing fine.
Un momento.
Never mind the phone. I'll tell him I'm here myself. You keep enjoying the heat and checking those field reports, honey. Unit. Frank Dorian. Dorian. Thought you were dead. I'm not. It's a nice little secretary you got there, Ed. Can she spell?
Maria does fine. Come on in.
How's the oil business?
Okay, lots of work as usual. How are your legs?
Took 18 months in the hospital in Mexico City. But they're okay now.
What do you want, Frank?
You giving it to me, too?
Give me what?
The looks, the cold meat stuff.
We don't need any pilots. Nothing open here, Frank.
I'm not looking for work. I'm looking for a boat.
Give up flying, did you?
For the moment, yeah.
Well, what's on your mind?
One of those power launches out there. Like to rent one for about 4 or 5 days.
Why?
Oh, flown over these waters a million times. Guess maybe I want to get a little closer to them. Do some fishing. Relax before I go back to the States. How about it?
Those are company boats. You know I can't do anything like that. Sorry.
Got $500 for you.
No, thanks.
$750.
Nope, not for $1 million.
It's not a very friendly way to talk after 18 months.
I didn't know whether I'd ever see you again, Frank, but I told myself if I did see you, I'd put it right on the line. You're yellow. You let 4 people die. You bailed out of that plane and you didn't even tell them how to get into that parachute on it.
There wasn't time.
But the Board of Inquiry report said there was time enough for you to get out. Maybe that's okay for the Board of Inquiry, but I say it was your job to look out for your passengers first. So I'll tell you again, you're a coward.
Anything else?
Too bad they didn't have to chop your legs off, Dorian. It put you closer to the side. You really are. Now get out of here.
Well,
I thought I'd find you here.
where else you go on a hot night in Mexican town? Even outside like this, sit down.
Gracias.
I like you better out of the office. What's your name?
Maria de Silva.
Where's your home, Maria?
Here?
And lots of Americans around gives you a taste of what it's like in the good old USA, eh?
See. I want to go there very much. to the United States.
Maybe one of those American college boy engineers working for Ryan will turn the trick for you.
With the short haircut and the things they say with the wink of the eye, I hate them. I hate all of them.
Still your best bet. Well, I had enough of this. See you in the States sometime, huh?
You go now?
Nothing around here.
I am around here.
Huh? Hey, you are trying, aren't you?
Maybe. Yes, what is... You laugh at me?
Nah, with you.
It's warm here. You walk by the water?
Sure, I'll walk.
It's funny.
What's funny?
The way you came in to Senor Ryan today and asked about the boat. You tell me about it later.
Ryan and his lousy boat.
I think about this all day. That is why I find you. I think you want to run a boat bad. Very bad.
You talk like you got one.
In a little way, I do have one.
What you got? A fishing jig? Your papa, your brother got a little squirt of a bark that I can stand up and take through the surf?
No. It is a power launch. Black those over there.
Power launch?
Belongs to someone I know. You buy it from one of the old company 2 years ago and make it over. Use it for big fishing. It's a good boat, very good. Maybe he ran it for you if I ask him.
Where is it?
There. Want to look?
Sure. Where's your friend?
He's away now.
Calls this a boat, huh?
It's good enough for fishing. That is why you wish a boat. Yes? You see a good engine.
Yeah, I'd have to hear him. You can't tell by looking.
He go out many times in this boat. 4, 5, 6 days at sea.
Well, Maria, I'll tell you what you do. You tell your friend I'm interested in renting it for 5 days. Tell him I'll give him $300.
You would laugh at this.
You can take it or leave it.
You would leave it.
And I guess it's no deal. Thanks for showing me.
This is the only boat around here that is not owned by the Salazar Oil Company. You do not take this one, you take nothing.
All right. Nothing.
How will you go fishing?
Huh?
Maybe I should say, how will you get to the island without a boat? 2 months they searched for the plane, and then it was decided to crash into the sea. But it did not go into the sea. It's still out there somewhere on one of those islands. And you need a boat together.
You're crazy.
I know there was a payroll on that plane. $80,000.
Huh. You got it all figured, haven't you? Suppose what you say is true and I took this boat. What then?
Huh.
Suppose I just let it lay. Suppose I didn't hear what you just said. Suppose it means nothing.
Then I go to the police and tell them what I think.
You think they'd listen?
If I told them how anxious you are about a boat.
The police here and the insurance company and the bonding company and the oil company have asked all the questions they want. They were on me for 3 months while I was in the hospital with my legs in the hoist. So maybe you haven't got such a good thing as that.
Oh.
So we know where we stand there. Now, what about your friend?
I would pay him for my hat.
All right. Sunday morning, 6 o'clock. Enough fuel and food to last for 5 days. Put things in shape. If your friend's okay, and if I feel like it, I might take a trip.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Come aboard. Come aboard. I am Rico. You are the Americano?
How's your English, Rico?
Good. See, very good.
Where's Brown Eyes?
Brown Eyes?
Maria.
Oh, Maria. She's in the galley. She fixes food. You hungry?
I could eat.
Maria, good cook. Fine, fine. Hey, we have not shaken hands yet, buddy. I shake, buddy. We in business.
Okay, buddy. See if you can shake this bag below.
Oh, see. Glad to, buddy.
Hi, Maria.
Hello.
You come down to see us off?
I'm going with you. Okay?
Okay by me. Matter of fact, it'll make it nicer. You do something to a boat, baby.
You meet Rico, yes?
Yeah, I met him. He's some clown. What's he always smiling about?
He's a very good sailor.
He acts like he's getting ready to go to a circus.
Don't have to worry about Rico.
Okay. What?
As long as you keep your hands off me. Stop it.
Hi, buddy.
Rico.
Well, we're all ready to go. The engine is fine.
Then what are we waiting for?
You?
Headed for Canizaba Point.
Canizaba? And then what?
And then I'll tell you.
Bueno.
All right, what are you standing there for? Let's get going.
Okay, buddy.
Frank,
Huh?
I am afraid.
What now?
Rico, he's dangerous. You don't like the way you act to me. And the way you make him embarrassed.
He'll live.
What will you?
He wants to get to that island, doesn't he?
See?
And I'm the only one who knows where it is.
That is true, but
What?
I am thinking of the time after we have been there.
If he's feeling that, huh? Come here.
What?
Let's settle it now. Rico?
See?
Give me a match. Fosforo, Sabrio. Match.
Oh, I know how to match.
I do. Here. Light me.
Light yourself.
Get up. Now light me.
Okay, buddy.
Any questions, Rico? Maria? And I guess everybody understands everybody.
You are listening to The Coward, tonight's presentation of Escape. French, German, Italian, Swedish. Nobody has trouble understanding the language when the language is music. Tomorrow, CBS Radio presents the classic works of the composers round the world on our World Music Festivals. Hear it tomorrow on most of these stations. And now back to Escape and the second act of The Coward.
Rico, see?
Where are we?
Canisaba, that is the point there.
Never seen it from the water. It looks different.
That is it.
Okay, let's look at that compass of yours. Uh-huh.
You know what you do?
I know. Okay, we set here. You steer this line.
See?
And keep on it.
For how long? There's no island that way, only the open sea, no island.
You ever been that way?
No.
I have.
Okay, buddy.
Marie, you asleep?
I'm asleep. What's your Enrico?
Huh?
He laughs at you, Frank. He laughs at you all the time, even though he lied the match. He laughs like you know more than you know. Can do more than you can do.
Go to bed. You're shivering.
I wish nothing to happen to you.
I don't get it.
Get it?
You and Smiling Boy, when all this is over, what happens?
Rico and Guy go to United States.
I thought it was something like that. So why worry about me? I'll tell you. Even with $40,000, you might not be able to make it. Immigration's tough, and the money wouldn't help much if they were looking for you. U.S. immigration can be awful tough on illegal entries. You got something like that in mind?
I'll speak to you later.
No. Right now.
Yeah.
This trip isn't going to last much longer.
Is that close to the island?
Be in sight tomorrow morning. Once we get that cash in our hands, Rico isn't going to play along if I got him pegged right.
Pegged?
You know what I'm talking about, baby. Probably told you how he's going to stick that knife in me so you and him can take the whole works, right? Yeah. You two talked it over. Let me tell you this. Rico isn't going to be able to get you into the United States, but I can.
You?
If you are my wife.
Oh. Frank, what would happen to Rico?
What do you think?
By golly, buddy, you right. What island they call it?
They call them nothing. But they're the spring end of the Santa Gabriel, as near as I can figure.
Which one? Which one we go to, buddy?
I'll head it in for that point of rock there.
Bueno. I better check the deck.
Frank,
Huh?
all night I think of what you say.
Yeah?
I am with you.
Okay.
What you do with that gun?
I need it.
Why?
Get rid of him right now. We don't need him anymore.
But the boat?
I can handle it.
Hey, boy, come here quick.
What's the matter?
Come here quick. Oh, it's the reef. The water's not deep enough. We hit the reef, we lose the boat.
We have to go in this way.
Lose the boat, dangerous.
I just changed my mind about something. You troll from right here, Rico. You take soundings as fast as you can. I'll take the wheel. It'll take both of us, but we'll find our way through the rocks.
No, it's no good.
I need a light, Rico.
Huh?
Give me a light, kiddo.
Okay, buddy.
Now get your line out and let's get those engines revved up.
Now 5.5. 5. In your 4.
Okay.
You cannot clear.
We draw 3 feet. That gives us a foot extra. Hold on to your hat, buddy.
My boat!
Shut up!
Oh. By golly, after this, I hope you picked the right island, buddy.
The right one, all right.
I hate to think I'm doing all this for nothing.
Look!
Hey, there, the island, the plane.
Yeah. That's the way I touch it.
By golly, buddy, a long time I think maybe this is just a trick. You're not sure the plane did not burn, but you want to look. I want to look, too. Now I see. You okay, buddy? We all be rich, eh, Maria? That is what you want, Carina? Well, by golly, we have it now.
Getting late. Let's hustle it up and get out of here. I don't want to spend the night on that island.
Why not?
Nothing to eat, nothing to drink. It's hot day and night. Rico, take her in as close as you can, and we'll wait.
Okay, buddy.
Frank,
Yeah,
is all right?
fine. Nothing to worry about now. Nothing at all.
What do you mean?
You and I can bring it back to the rocks alone.
We are here.
Okay, let's go. I'll give you a hand over the side, Maria.
Roger.
Here.
Why is it the plane's not find her?
They didn't look in the right place. She's half buried in a loose rock. How you doing?
Bueno.
Plane, a mess. Where in it is the money, buddy?
In the baggage compartment.
I go pull the door open. By golly, she's stuck hard.
I'll give you a hand.
You can get it now.
Yeah. Got it. It's locked. Give me your knife.
Huh? Oh, here.
$80,000.
See, this is treasure.
Yeah. Just about enough for a man to enjoy some things.
Huh?
Thanks for the knife, Rico.
Where's the buddy? Where's the buddy? You wanted my knife. Now you got it. Adios, buddy.
You killed him.
It is all of it. What happened to him? Now, too.
Yes, but you also. You bleed.
Scratch only, Carita. But he, my buddy, he will die. I think it's nice. You should stay here and watch. You can die with him.
No, Rico, no.
It's what you wanted, to be with him. You have him now.
No.
Adios, querida mía.
Maria.
You hurt bad, Frank.
You telling me?
Don't let that move.
The boat.
Gone. You made me stay. You say we can die together.
That isn't going to help. Shut up. Shut up.
You die, Frank.
No. Not if I can help it. Look in the plane. Must be a first aid kit in there somewhere. Bandages, tape. Hurry up, take a look.
No, Frank.
Try the cabin.
I cannot go into the cabin. The bodies are in there. The bodies from the wreck.
Go on. You want to stay here and die, or you want to try to get help?
I look. That's Frank. This is it?
Yeah. Come on, get it open. You all right?
I'm all right.
Okay. Let's see what kind of surgeon you are.
Better now?
Yeah. Knife must have bounced off a river. I'd be dead by now.
What will happen to us?
We got to get some help. Make flares, signal, something.
Do you think anybody see?
Somebody has.
We need food. There's no food. Only sand and rock.
The radio. The radio on the plane.
I look. We smashed to pieces. We die, Frank. We die here together.
Suppose you could build a fire? You awake, Marie?
Yeah.
I keep dozing off. Guess I lost a lot of blood.
Sleep is best now. You not think.
Maybe it's better to think. Look, I still have the gun.
What?
When the food problem gets tough, when it gets too bad, maybe...
Oh.
No way to go. Starving, I mean.
All my life I tell myself, someday I go to the United States to live there. Wear pretty clothes like in the magazines. Drive a nice car. Live in a clean place. And I die on a dirty little island.
We both die if that's any comfort. My fault.
Your fault?
I got ashamed of this. I didn't mean for it to end this way. Maria, I'd like to tell you something.
Yeah?
When that plane ran out of gas, I tried to tell those 4 workers how to get into the chutes. I really tried. They didn't speak English, and I didn't speak their language, and there just wasn't time. I could have stayed with the plane and died then. Maybe it would have been better, but I bailed out, and I saw it crash here. In the hospital, I got the idea about the money.
Why you say this to me?
I hate to drag you with me. You don't deserve it. Just a kid who wanted to go to the States. I'd have been proud to take you there.
You love me?
Yeah.
I believe you. It is a good feeling. We truly died, but it is a good feeling. The boat!
What?
The boat, it is back. Rick goes back. Can you walk?
I can try.
Yes. He did not leave us here to die. He came back.
I can't believe it. Wait.
What?
She's stuck in the sand. She's unmanned.
He did not come back for us?
No, that boat just drifted in. Come on. Oh.
What?
On the railing. He couldn't get out. He couldn't get through the reef alone in the knife fight. He bled. She's dead, Marianne.
And now we will live.
Five.
4.
4.
You make it?
We made it this far, baby. We're clear now. Open sea ahead.
Open sea?
We're safe.
What happens when we get back?
Need the money?
See?
Goes to Ryan for the whole story.
Everything?
It'd have to be everything.
But I might put you in prison.
If they did?
I wait. I will wait for you.
We haven't got anything to worry about, Maria. Take the wheel.
Escape, produced and directed by David Friedkin and Morton Fine, has brought you The Coward, a story by E. Jack Newman. Featured in the cast were Barney Phillips, Virginia Gregg, Lou Merrill, and Herb Butterfield. Your announcer, Bill Anders. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are running over the fog rock cliffs of Dover. By your side, a girl who believes you are a madman. And pursuing you, bent on destroying you, a man whose terrible secret you've stumbled upon, and from whom there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Walter Brown Newman's story, 2 and 2 Make 4. Some people like to spend their Sunday afternoons fishing. Some like to relax at home. But whatever the pastime, CBS Radio adds to a restful day with Eddie Gallagher on a Sunday afternoon. Music by Antonini and by Russ Case. Vocal melody by Stu Foster and Louise Carlisle. And pleasant chatter by Eddie Gallagher. All right here for you tomorrow on most of these stations. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. America listens most to the CBS Radio Network.
Nestle's Quick for the greatest tasting chocolate milk. And those famous Nestle's chocolate bars present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are locked in an airtight chamber on Neptune's third moon by a criminal trying to force them to reveal Space Patrol's secrets.
Rorschach must be crazy. Just locking us up in here isn't going to make us talk.
Listen. Hear that?
Oh, yes, sir. Sounds like some sort of a pump.
You going to say anything about the air in here?
Now that you mention it, it's sort of hard to breathe.
They're pumping the air out of the chamber.
We've only got two choices. Press the alarm button or suffocate.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Red Demon of Venus.
Say, Space Patrollers, this is Cadet Hatton. If you're like me, you never get enough Nestle's chocolate. Man, that's such sensational, smooth, rich, delicious chocolate. Every bite tastes like more. And you know, there's a way to buy them so you always have more. That's the family pack. 6 Nestle's chocolate bars packed together in a swell carton. Tell Mom she'll find them at grocery stores and supermarkets. And they're real money savers, too. There's another way to make sure you have plenty of Nestle bars. That's to buy them big. You can get a 10-cent bar, or bigger still, an economy bar, and bigger yet, a tremendous king-size bar. That's the one I like best because it's so thick. Now, the 10-cent economy and king-size bars, as well as those neat family packs, come in all three of Nestle's terrific flavors. Smooth, creamy milk chocolate in the red and white wrappers, milk chocolate with toasty almonds in the blue and white wrap, and, of course, that crispy, crunchy, wonderful crunch bar in the red and blue wrap. Whichever you like best, treat yourself to Nestle's in a great big way. I'm sure you'll say just what I do. The more Nestle's, the merrier. And always remember, Nestles, Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. Ooh, what a voice.
And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Red Demon of Venus. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy have landed the Terra 5 on high ground at the center of a small island in the Venus marshes. They're searching for Nelson Tanagru, a Space Patrol secret agent who's not been heard from for 3 days. Right now, Buzz and Happy make their way through the thick vegetation toward the eastern shore of the island to locate the tiny shack Tanagru has been using as a base of operations.
Maybe that gang Tanagru was after located him before he got them.
It's something pretty serious, or we'd have heard from him. He's got a spaceophone.
I think I see the shack.
That's it. Come on.
Smoke rockets. It's almost underwater.
Flood hit worse here than it did at the settlement.
You don't think Tanagru got trapped in the shack?
Tanagru! Tanagru, are you there? This is Commander Corey. Tanagru!
Oh. It came from back there in the brush, to the right.
Must be Tanagru. Tanagru!
Here, Commander.
Let's go, Happy. There he is in the clearing. Tanagru.
Thought I was finished, and then I heard your voice.
Don't try to get up. Just take it easy. What happened? Did that smuggling gang get you?
No, nothing that dramatic. It's a spider bite. Got my hand.
Oh, it's sure swollen.
We'll get you to the ship right away. What kind of a spider was it?
It's lying over there by that rock. As you see, I won.
Oh, it sure was a big one. And as red as a rocket blast.
Yeah. Jumped on me from the tree line. Thought it was a ball of fire. Felt like it, too.
When did this happen?
Early this morning. Right after I killed a spider, I blacked out for a while. I don't feel so bad now, except that I can't move.
I don't want to frighten you, Tanagru, but do you know what kind of spider that is?
I thought I knew everything that crawled or flew in these marshes, but it's a new one on me.
The spider's called the Red Demon of Venus. It's extremely poisonous. Naturalists have thought it was extinct.
Well, at least that one is.
Tanagru, we've got to get you to Venus City Hospital right away. Give me a hand, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Wait. I may black out again. Let me tell you what I found out about that gang. They've been operating out of the settlement.
That can wait.
Now, please, Commander. I'll feel better if you let me fill you in.
All right, but just the high points.
Some of the names on a map of where they hide their loot are in a note taken out of Jacket Park.
I'll get it later.
I think they're on to me. I got in a jet boat and pulled away from the wharf of the settlement last night. So one of the gang watching me.
They didn't follow you here to the island, then?
No. When I got back here, I found the shack flooded. Couldn't use a space phone. Sunk the boat and could get at it again. And hid here in the clearing.
So if they came here to the island, they'd see the shack was submerged and figure you'd gone.
Yeah. I was at the settlement for 3 days. Didn't dare use the space phone there. Don't tell them who might be spying for the gang.
All right, Tanagru. I think we'd better get you to the ship.
Easy now, Happy.
With Tanagru made as comfortable as possible in an aft compartment, Buzz and Happy blast off for Venus City. Buzz loses no time in contacting the hospital by spaceophone. He's now waiting for a reply as Happy returns to the control compartment.
Tanagru is still conscious, Commander, but he doesn't look too good. Heard from Dr. Bryce yet, sir?
Not since that first call.
Sure wish there was something we could do.
Dr. Bryce, if anything we might do now might hinder the regular treatment.
Venus City Hospital calling Commander Corey aboard the Terra 5. Dr. Bryce to Commander Corey.
Corey here. Go ahead, Doctor.
I have some very bad news, Commander. A single drop of serum here at the hospital.
And contact some other hospitals. Try Terra or Mars.
I'll try, but I'm sure they haven't any. You see, the Red Demon spider is found only here on Venus. And there have been no cases reported for over 5 years. Our records show that the last of our supply of serum was discarded 18 months ago.
Discarded?
Yes, it becomes ineffective after a certain length of time.
Dr. Bryce, you told me that Panagru must have treatment within a few hours or the bite will be fatal.
That's true, unfortunately.
But what are we going to do?
Well, there is one alternative.
What is it?
We can obtain a blood donation from another victim of that type of spider and inject that blood into Tanagru's veins.
Do you know where we can find such a person?
Well, records show that a patient named Theodore Rorschach was successfully treated here 5 years ago.
Where is he now?
I don't know, but I've already ordered the checkmate.
Doctor, how much time have we got?
I can't say. In some cases, the bite has proved fatal within a few minutes. In rare instances, well, the longest was 18 hours.
Nearly a third of the time's gone already. Doctor, keep trying to locate Rorschach. I'll contact Space Patrol headquarters in Terra and get master locator control on the job. Corey out.
Well, it sure doesn't look good, does it, sir?
If Theodore Rorschach is alive, we'll find him. I'll give locator control a AAA priority order and put out an all-planets alert. After that's taken care of, you take the controls till we reach Venus City. I'll be back with Tanagru. Just take it easy, Tanagru. We'll be landing in Venus City in a few minutes.
Never thought a spider bite could put me on my back, Commander.
That took a red demon to do it.
Yeah. Say, have you had a chance to go over my notebook?
Yes. Done a great job. The information you've gathered, we can close in on those things right away.
Well, except we couldn't get a line on who he is. Keeps in the background.
When we pull in the gang, we'll make them talk.
I've got a favor to ask. When you round them up, I want to be in on it.
Well, that's going to be up to the doctor. And if he says okay, you can bet we'll be there when you pull him in.
Excuse me, Commander.
Yes, Happy.
You asked me to tell you when we were 3 minutes from Venus City.
Yes, Happy. Thanks. I'll take over. Good time, McGill. Take it easy.
Sure. You bet, Commander.
I told you to land the ship. Something wrong?
Yes, sir. I didn't think I should tell you in front of Tanagru. A report just came in from Terra headquarters on Rorschach.
Where is he?
They don't know. The last information on him is a year old. Rorschach is wanted. He's a criminal, and he's hiding out. Poor Tanagru. It looks like it's all over with him.
You've got to find Rorschach and find him quick.
Well, gee, sir, the Mercury headquarters hasn't found him in a year. What chance have we got with just a few hours to go?
Get on the controls, Hap. We're going to spaceophone Venus City headquarters. When we land, I want an interplanet relay set up for an emergency message. Meantime, millions of DUs away in Neptune City, two men sit before a spaceophone receiver. As the sweep second hand of a clock swings upward, both men grow tense. And one grips his companion's arm.
I tell you, Rorschach, it's been on every 15 minutes. Commander Corey himself. Microtape, of course. And on all the main channels. It's a trap, I know it is.
Calm down, Glacier. No use getting excited.
Scared the daylights out of me when I first heard it. I expected any minute to hear the Space Patrol right outside that door.
Number 97. All planets alert. Attention, all Space Patrol units and all citizens of the United Planets. This is the AAA Priority Bulletin. Please listen carefully. This is your Space Patrol Commander-in-Chief, Buzz Corey.
What did I tell you, Rorschach? Shut up.
I'm addressing every man, woman, and child in the solar system. In particular, I'm addressing Theodore Rorschach. 5 years ago, you were bitten by a poisonous spider, a red demon of Venus. Your life was saved. Now, Theodore Rorschach, you have the power to save a life as yours was saved. A few drops of your blood, that's all that stands between life and death for a fellow human being.
He's breaking my heart.
I don't ask you to turn yourself in. You are guaranteed immunity from arrest while you perform this generous act. Go to any doctor in the solar system, any medical organization, public or private. You will then be given 48 hours of further immunity. You will not be followed. You will not be traced by man or instrument of any kind during that period. You risk nothing, Rorschach. You can save a life. Contact any doctor or any Space Patrol unit, but act now. Every second is urgent. This is Buzz Corey.
Cut it off, Glacier.
It's a trick. It has to be.
Maybe. But I doubt it. Corey doesn't work that way.
Rorschach, you aren't thinking of playing Corey's game.
Yes, Glacier, I am. It's Corey's game. But the cards are mine, and it's my deal. Contact Commander Corey right now.
A few moments later, at the Venus City headquarters of the Space Patrol, Communication Center switches an emergency spaceophone call to Buzz Corey's temporary office. The commander listens skeptically but intently as an anonymous voice dictates a bold demand.
Those are Rorschach's terms, Commander. What's your answer?
How do I know you're actually representing Rorschach?
You don't. But for that matter, how do you know I'm not Rorschach?
All right, let's not argue that. Why does Rorschach insist that I meet him personally out in space? It would save precious time if Rorschach came directly here to Venus. Any Space Patrol ship or commercial space line will bring him here and return him to any point in the solar system.
Look, Commander, you meet Rorschach in space in the orbit of Neptune's second moon. or not at all. Come, Corey, a man's life is at stake, remember?
All right. I accept Rorschach's terms. Give me the space coordinates, and I'll blast off immediately.
Swiftly the precious hours fly by, and Buzz and Happy hurtle toward the distant rendezvous point, with the Terra 5 accelerating at a rate barely under the threshold of physical and mental endurance. Finally, as they near the orbit of Neptune's second moon, the scanning beam of the viewscope fixes upon a small object in free fall.
It's a private cruiser, Class C, Commander, and according to the vector computer, it's right at the rendezvous point.
I'll cut acceleration.
It's a relief.
Now, let's see if we can contact that cruiser. Commander Corey aboard Terra 5, holding private cruiser in Sector 4, orbit of Neptune moon number 2. Space Patrol battlecruiser Terra 5. Commander Corey here. Acknowledge.
Private cruiser N208, Commander Corey. This is Theodore Rorschach. You made good time.
You'll need every second of it. When we join airlocks, be ready to come aboard.
Just a minute. You come aboard my ship.
All right, it doesn't matter.
And one more thing. I'm not to be followed or traced for 48 hours. Does that promise still hold?
Yes, I give you my word. In less than 3 minutes after I come aboard, you can be on your way. A man's life is in danger, Rorschach. Let's not waste any more time.
All right, Commander. Join airlocks. Rorschach out.
The nerve of that guy giving you orders.
That's just me. Have it, Will. Stand by to join airlocks.
A few moments later, the Terra 5 is joined to the cruiser by the magnetic coupler. Taking the medical kit, Buzz and Happy pass through the airlocks into Rorschach's ship.
Welcome aboard, Commander.
You're Theodore Rorschach, is that right?
Right.
Strickland fits. You'll know for sure when we run a test of your blood sample. Roll up the right sleeve.
Sure. Mind telling me who's raiding all this fuss over a spider bite? Is it the Secretary General?
It's a Space Patrol agent. He'd make the same effort to save anybody's life, even yours. All right, Hap, take over.
Give me your arm, Rorschach. Now, don't worry. This isn't going to hurt at all.
Just you two are handling the whole thing, eh? Nobody else is in your ship?
We wanted to save time by bringing Tanagru along. But he's too ill to move.
Now, hold still, Rorschach. This will all be over in 5 seconds.
Go over right now. Get your hands up, both of you.
Hey, what's going
and
on?
Don't move, Cadet, or I'll drop you with a ray gun.
What's the idea, Rorschach?
Keep him covered, Glazer. The idea is this, Commander. You got a lot of information that can be of use to me. Space Patrol code, methods of operation, cases under investigation, and stuff like that.
You think I'm going to tell you anything?
You better. You expect to get back to Venus in time. Keep talking for a couple of hours, and we'll let you go.
There isn't time. Can't you understand? No use talking to you.
I told him not to move. How's that, Rorschach? 1, 2, just like that.
Cut the ship loose from the Terra 5 and blast off. When Corey comes to, we'll have plenty of time to make him talk.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Say, Space Patrollers, how are you at magic? You like to astonish your friends and family with real neat tricks? Well, here's a great one for you. And so simple, I can teach you how to do it in just about 1 minute. Here's what you do. Pour out a big, frosty cold glass of milk. Now just drop in 2 spoonfuls of Nestle's Quick. Twirl your spoon in the glass and presto, like magic, you have the richest, most delicious chocolate milk ever made. Yes, sir, it's real magic because Nestle's Quick makes itself. Yes, sir, it's the only chocolate milk that needs no beating, no shaking. It's the only one that mixes instantly and completely and stays mixed until you've drunk up the very last drop. And believe me, gang, it's the only one that gives you sensational, rich flavor, just like Nestle's chocolate bars. And boy, does that taste like a million. And say, here's another part to this trick. Yes, sir, you can make Quick disappear just like that. You want to know how that's done? Easy. Once you taste the cosmic flavor of Nestle's Quick, you'll drink it down so fast, it'll actually vanish before your eyes. Now, wouldn't you like to be a magician and have this sensational chocolate milk for your meals and snacks? Well, all you have to do is remember that Nestle's Quick does the trick. That's Q-U-I-K, Quick. It comes in the big brown and yellow can, and it's magic. So ask Mom to bring home some today. And save the special premium panel from the side of the Quick label. It's going to come in handy real soon. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Red Demon of Venus. Rendering Buzz and Happy unconscious with a ray gun, Rorschach and his accomplice, Glazer, pulled their space cruiser away from the Terra 5 and blasted off into space. Feeling secure that Commander Corey has already given Space Patrol units orders not to try to trace Rorschach for 48 hours, the true criminals have taken Buzz and Appy to a hideout on Neptune's third moon. Right now, Rorschach stands over them as the Space Patrollers regain consciousness.
Now listen, you're where no one will find you. You're on Neptune's third moon.
Rorschach, listen to me. There's a man on Venus with only a few hours to live.
Shut up! He's a Space Patrol agent. I don't care whether he lives or not. But if you care, you better talk. Glazer! Yeah. Come here. Let's get to work.
Oh, they've come around, huh?
Now get this, Corey. Your only chance to save this pal of yours is to start talking. Give us the Space Patrol codes and all that other stuff I mentioned. Come on, give.
If you keep us here, one man loses his life. 10 of you. If we reveal Space Patrol secrets, we'd use them to destroy many innocent people.
So you wouldn't talk to save Penagrew, eh?
No, even if we did talk, you wouldn't keep your promise.
The study. We'll put them in the study.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Open the door, Glazer. All right, you two, get moving.
Go on inside.
When you decide to be reasonable, and I'm sure you will, you'll find an alarm button near the door. Just press it and we'll let you out.
Now, get in.
So this is the study. It looks harmless enough to me, just a bare room.
Yes, lined with metal. Walls, ceiling, and floor.
Oh, this must be the alarm button Rorschach mentioned. I wonder what's supposed to happen to make us talk. Oh, I know. Keeping us here without food or water.
Maybe, but that's a slow method. Rorschach knows he's got less than 48 hours before the Space Patrol starts searching for us.
Sure, but nobody knows we're on the third moon of Neptune.
No, but when the search begins, it'll start from our ship. Unless Rorschach destroys it, it's still in free fall around the number 2 moon. The Space Patrol will search all the moons, probably with special attention to number 3.
Why, sir?
It's the only Neptune moon with atmosphere. Hear that?
Yes, sir. Sounds like some sort of a pump.
Notice anything about the air in here?
Now that you mention it, it's sort of hard to breathe.
That they're pumping the air out of the chamber. They're making a vacuum in here.
We've only got 2 choices. Press the alarm button or suffocate.
Don't intend to do either one.
Yeah, we can't break out.
No. Perhaps let's see if we can find the outlet valve, the place where the air is being drawn out of here.
Yeah, there won't be long now, Rorschach. They'll be ringing that alarm bell pretty quick.
Sure. I don't care how brave a man is. When he can't breathe, he gets panicky. He'd give anything for one lungful of air.
Wonder why they don't ring the bell. Maybe I better step up the pump.
Yeah.
Rorschach, look at the gauge.
Hey, it's nearly to 0.
No one could live in that chamber.
Why, the fools, the stubborn, stupid fools.
Maybe the alarm didn't work.
Glazer, shut off that pump. Shut it off, quick.
Sure.
Now, let's open the chamber. They still may be alive. Hurry up, Glazer. Get the door open. We got to revive them and make them talk.
There, I've got it.
Now, in there, and drag them out. Hurry.
Got them, Happy?
Yes, sir.
Wow. If Glazer hadn't dropped with that last punch, I'd have folded.
Rorschach took the last I had.
That air sure feels good. My lungs are burning.
Rorschach must have a spacephone here. We've got to win back and notify Venus City Hospital.
Hey, Commander, Glazer's coming too.
Watch him.
Yes, sir.
You guys aren't human. It was almost a vacuum in here.
Oh, not quite. We found the outlet vent and stopped it up with my belt. The vacuum was just in the pipe, not in the chamber.
Hey, Commander, there goes Rorschach out the door. I'll go after him. Keep an eye on Glazer.
Better yet.
Okay, that'll hold him. Come on, Hap.
There he goes. He's heading for that shed.
Yeah, weapons in there. We've got to catch him.
He's inside.
Try the door.
Oh, he locked it.
It's a rickety-looking door. One kick ought to break it. Come on. All right, Rorschach. Where are you?
He must be hiding behind one of these stacks of cases.
We'll find him. Come on out, Rorschach.
You're just making things tougher on yourself.
Now, watch your step. Thanks, Rorschach.
Yes, sir.
Wait.
stay here. I'll go behind those cases. If he makes a run for it, nail him.
Right.
Better hold it, Commander.
There he is.
Don't come any closer, I'm warning you. I'll blow you to bits.
Quit bluffing, Rorschach.
I'm not bluffing. You know what this is in my hand? I'll tell you. It's a mining bomb. By turning this dial, I can set it to go off in 30 seconds. Or as little as 5 seconds.
Don't go around with that. Are you crazy?
Not in the least. Now, don't worry. I won't press the timer button unless you force me to. Careful, Commander. One more step and I'll lower the regulator to 5 seconds and press the timer. Now, I intend to walk out of here holding the bomb, of course, and get into my spaceship. And stay right where you are if you want to live.
Gee, Commander, it isn't even a case of us or him. It's us and him.
Yeah, the cadet is right, Corey. You won't gain a thing if you try to stop me.
All right, Rorschach. But there'll be another time.
I'll take my chances on that. Goodbye, gentlemen. The
floor gave away.
Get him quick, Hap. All right, Rorschach, get up.
I can't. I'm cut. My leg's cut.
Well, just take it easy. We'll pull you out.
What happened to the bomb? Where is it?
I dropped it through the hole in the floor when the plane gave away.
Listen. There's something down there, under the flooring.
It's the bomb. I must have pressed the timer when I fell.
Smoking rockets, we've got to get out of here in a few seconds.
Don't leave me here, please. Don't leave me here. Get me out.
Happy, grab his other arm and pull.
Yes, sir. Oh, he's really stuck.
Once more, Happy.
Yeah, that does it.
Get him out of here. Hurry. Head for that ditch, Hap.
Yes, sir. Come on, Rorschach.
Hit the dirt.
Wow. We made it.
You're okay, Rorschach. Get your face out of the dirt.
Look where the shed was. There's nothing but a big hole.
All right, Hap, get Glazer. We're blasting off for Venus.
With their captives aboard Rorschach's private cruiser, Buzz and Happy blast off from Neptune's third moon and chart a vector for Venus. After making sure Rorschach and Glazer are securely bound in the compartment amidship, Happy goes forward to the control section where Buzz is completing a spaceophone call.
Very good, Major. Proceed as directed. Corey out.
Contacted Venus yet, Commander?
Yes. Space Patrol headquarters at Venus City is going to have Dr. Bryce call me.
Gee, sure, the slow old trait. You'll never get to Venus at this rate.
I've got news for you, Hap. The Neptune Patrol Unit recovered Terra 5 from free fall. We'll meet it at the Neptune orbit and transfer aboard.
Oh, great. But even at that, we'll never make that 18-hour deadline.
Dr. Bryce at Venus City Hospital calling Commander Corey aboard private cruiser M208.
Commander Corey here. How's Tanagroo?
He's still alive, Commander, but he's steadily growing weaker.
Doctor, how much time?
Frankly, I can't say. If it wasn't for Tanagroo's rugged constitution and will to live, well, it would have all been over hours ago.
He's got to hang on. He's got to. Doctor, do anything you can.
I'm sorry, Commander, but there's nothing more we can do until you get here with Rorschach.
All right, Doctor. You'll make it. Corey out.
Even aboard the far swifter Terra 5, the voyage to Venus seems endless. At last, the ship roars through the space lock of the Venus City spaceport. Then, at the hospital, comes the most agonizing eternity of all for Buzz and Happy. There is nothing to do but wait. Finally, the door opens. And a moment later, they stand looking down at a pale, exhausted man.
Sure good to see you, Commander. Cadet.
You're looking fine, Tanagroo.
Yes, Tanagroo. Doc Bryce says you'll be up and around in a day or so.
You bet. And I'm going to help you round up the leader of that Venus gang.
Well, I'm afraid that's all.
Commander, you promised.
I know. You've already got the big shot.
You have? I suppose I ought to be glad.
She wanted to have a hand.
You did. The hand that was bitten by the spider.
What?
That means that if you hadn't been bitten, we never would have started searching for another victim on the Red Demon of Venus. We'd never have found Rorschach.
You mean Rorschach?
Yep, he's the head man. We found evidence on his spaceship.
And he's confessed. He told us he was in the Venus marshes 5 years ago setting up the gang, and the spider got him.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure brought to you by Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages. Ever take a taste test, Space Patrollers? Well, man, oh man, it sure is fun when it's Chex you're taste testing. How do I know? Well, I just took one. First, I tested them with sugar and cream. Super keen taste. Then I added fruit. Super neat taste. Next, I tried them right out of the red and white checkerboard package. That was the snack test. And Chex, rice or wheat for snacks just can't be beat. Yes, sir, gang, I rate Chex tops for taste. And you'll rate them tops, too. Next, I tried them for size. Bite size is the just right size. Just right for your spoon, just right for delicious, easy eating. Chex, rice or wheat tops for size? Ah, you bet. And as for get up and go, gang, have yourself a good, nourishing breakfast with rice Chex or wheat Chex, and you'll be rated tops for get up and go. So, Space Patrollers, you take the rice Chex, wheat Chex taste test today. And I'm positive you'll agree, Chex rate tops 3 ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. Rice Chex, wheat Chex. The cereals with the super swell free Space Patrol trading card inside the red and white checkerboard package. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy, exploring a wooded section of Mars, have just seen 2 men in strange, primitive masks holding a girl as captive. As the 2 Space Patrollers move to rescue her, Happy falls into a pit covered with branches and leaves.
Are you hurt, Happy?
No, sir.
Here, give me a hand. I'll pull you out.
Yes, sir. I can't quite reach it.
I'll lie down on the edge of the pit. There.
That's fine, sir. Now I can... Hey, Commander, look out.
What's the matter?
Look behind you. There's a man in a mask, and he's got a spear at your back.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Mystery of the Masked Martian. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Temmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Baylor Kovach. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday for exciting action on Space Patrol. Space Patrol was brought to you today by Nestle's Quick for the greatest tasting chocolate milk and those famous Nestle's chocolate bars. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.